You were so kind to give us some of your precious time and to continue our talk of yesterday. And the talk was on your PhD thesis, the concept of God in Jainism. And I have a question concerning the siddhas. The siddhas, do you concentrate on the siddhas as well in your PhD thesis? And if, please tell us how.
Actually, the focus is pinpoint in my research. My research is a pinpoint research on as the domain of the concept of gods, celestial beings, is even so wide that it is very big topic and very huge topic. But when we consider the word God, as the concept of the God is very ambiguous, because it correlates to many different wider notions. Not only the concept of celestial beings, but for the person from the monotheistic background takes it, the God means the creator God. So there he takes the concept of divinity and the divine God. So there we try to explain that the Jainism from the very start, it denies the concept of creation, and so there is no such creator God. But parallel to the supremacy of the creator God, there is a concept of Siddha in Jainism. Siddha are the ones who are emancipated, free from all bondage and sufferings, free from all miseries, free from the karmas, and so they are the pure form of souls. The purity within they have, and they are the most divine ones. That is the Siddha, and that is the original nature of soul. So when asked, what do you mean by divinity? Or what is the concept parallel to the creator God in Jainism? Then we show the concept of Siddhas. But here in our research, we try to focus on the concepts which are quite parallel to the concept found as intermediary gods, or linking gods, or the heavenly gods, or the ghost, spirit, evil spirit, holy spirit, and these kind of fairies and such other concepts which come in this link, and which are the most weird, which are the most confusing, and which are the most concepts which are considered to be superstitious and mythological, like the ancient heroes, the sagas, epics, all working in that field, moving in that field. So here comes, and almost all the religions of philosophies and cultures and traditions, we find this kind of, in the legends, we find this kind of concept. Even in Mohammedanism, in Islam, there is no iconic worship. There also we find the concept of Gabriel. And it is given that Gabriel is an intermediary god which helps the knowledge to be transmitted from the God, the Allah, to the Muhammad, who was the Pagambar or the propounder of the Islam religion. So there is a link of giving the knowledge, and he acts as an intermediary deity or God. So this concept of God, as it seems to be very mythological. So my work is to extract the philosophical from the mythological, to extract the scientific from the superstitious, to present an outdated topic in an updated version. So we can understand, because when you go through, when you read any religion, this kind of concept you come across, you feel that religion is something not updated, but it is outdated one. So people are thinking that religion is to be outdated, science is good, but religion is nothing. It talks about such things which are very, very mythological, and they are not appealing, they don't have argumentation. So my work is to give the sufficient arguments and scientific logic to sustain the arguments given in the canonical scriptures and explain that how this can be a part of reality. and not only a false science or kind of what we say fancies of religious precepts or imaginary principles, but they are a part of reality. And then how? So that is my main topic.
Gods are part of reality.
Yes. And now there may be a question that there are several current topics. Why have you chosen this kind of topic, which is so difficult and which is so appearing to be mythological or outdated? Then the question is, the answer is presented in that way that the relevance is really to the boom of this concept, as we see that for a person who is a Jain aspirant, who wants to understand Jainism, he comes across this concept again and again. He encounters this concept when, as a Jain, maybe there are many Jains who are Jain only by name, but then also a person who is new to Jainism or not too much frequently in touch, then also he participates in the event of Samvatsari. Let's say Samvatsari, in the religious Paryushan, in the 8 days or that day, 10 days festival, where it is the most spiritual days in Jainism. There almost all Jains participate. There also they listen the biography of Mahavir, the lifetimes of Mahavir. And again, a person who has a scholarly approach to Jainism, as he starts reading Jainism, he finds out who is the founder of Jainism. He studies that who is the founder of Jainism. And then when he comes across, he finds that yes, it is Mahavir. He reads about Mahavir. And when he reads about Mahavir and his lifetime, then again he comes across the concept of these celestial beings again and again. Like, for example, when it is given that Lord Mahavir is taking birth, he takes birth or he is conception in the womb, or when he initiates, or when he renunciates, when he becomes omniscient, when he takes nirvana. In all these steps named Panchakalyanak, you see that the Indras, the chief of the gods, they arrive and celebrate the divine. So when, even though you are a new person to the Jainism or not too much into the depth, then also you read his life at least. And in that several pages, in that few pages you find several times the name of gods. And when you encounter all other things like fasting and all meditational practices, you are highly influenced by the spiritual nature, original spiritual nature of Mahavir and Jainism. You are highly impressed. But if you find this kind of things, you feel how ritualistic dogmas and ritualistic things have come in the spiritual, how the ritualistic things are matching to that, how these kind of celestial beings and these kind of concepts are entering into the concept of Jainism. So there is a question, and this fascinates a reader, that yes, I want an answer to my query, that what are these celestial beings? Are they real? If they are real, how do they reside? Where do they reside? What kind of their body form? Why they are not visible to us? What are their powers? And what are they? Are they divine? And there is a lot of mess and confusion in this field, that people feel that they are worshipable. People, they are vulnerable. People see them as something divine. But when we read in this thesis, the books quoted from the original literature of Jainism, they clearly manifest that this concept is from antiquity. This is not correct from the different religions. And it also shows that concept is so spiritual and scientific, and it shows that these beings are not the divine beings. These are just mundane beings like us. They have their existence. The difference lies in their physical capabilities. As they have a complex biological structure, so their body has much more such tools and sophisticated systems in their body, so they can transform their body, they can travel at stellar distances in this extrasolar speed, like the speed of light. and many more such qualities they have and the luxurious life they have. So, from a physical perspective, they are the most advanced form of species that we know today, that we encounter. Today we are thinking that humans are the most sophisticated and most advanced. But when we read the literature, we find that these beings are a kind of species of living organism, but they are the most sophisticated one. Again to say, we have limited our search of extraterrestrial life to cellular life. We are in search of extraterrestrial aliens and such beings, that there may be humanity beyond, there may be living beings beyond. And we are searching that for that, we think that there should be water, there should be air. If we find air or water or some such stuff, we think that there may be life. And if not, we think there is no life. So all the experiments and presentations by the scientists made till date are found in newspapers and magazines and international journals. They express that there is no water or water is found, so there may be life or no life. So all these things are connected to the cellular life. But we cellular.
Okay.
For the cell body.
Yeah.
But when we talk about these celestial beings, so you cannot outrightly reject their existence beyond the sphere of this terrestrial region by saying that there is no air or water. But actually their life may exist in a way by saying that they can have a sophisticated biological structure as expressed by Mahavir. It is known as Vaikriya body, protein body. And this protein body is termed as in Jainism Vaikriya body. This Vaikriya body is completely a typical example of it's best seen, and it is completely different from the cellular body. So there is no need of air and water for their respiration or digestive and all these systems, because their body mechanism is completely different from the cellular being.
Yeah.
So it's not necessary that they have mitochondria and DNA like this. There is no need of water and air like this. So we can consider that their life will be very different, and so it will allow them to live in places where there is vacuum, where there is no air maybe. They can live in that places where there is no water. They can live at that places where there may be different temperatures. It are not allowed. Maybe in the ionic sphere, where the body becomes like iron. But all these things cannot be made so clear, but because the difference in the terminology used in science and Jainism. But then also, this gives a very good and open view to understand that these cannot be outrightly rejected, but are in the considered as a possible existence of such beings, as we see the studies of the scientists like Stephen Hawking, etc., Roger Penrose and all these. So these guys have showed that there are possibilities of aliens or extraterrestrial intelligence outside the cosmos, outside this universe, and there may be life in the stars or in different planets, and there may be some extreme temperatures and complex biological structures, and there they may reside. They may exist in different forms. These are even though the speculations by the honorable scientists, but Lord Mahavir's vision is quite clear in this perspective, as he expresses the concept of Vaikriya body. So we can think over, and again the scientific measure of Jainism is found when we read about the black holes concept, which is recently found in few decades ago by Stephen Hawking and etc. about the concept of black holes. And that kind of bodies of black holes and that black masses is already presented by Bhagwan Mahavir in his original canonical scripture long ago, centuries ago. He is already presented the concept of, and also not only the concept, but he is given the shapes, where cosmographically where they are located, what are the shapes, how voluminous they are. All these things are expressed extensively in Lord Mahavir's original treatises, the canonical literature, especially in the Bhagavati Sutra, which has been recently translated there this concept has been treated extensively. This shows that how Jainism is so scientific, and when this kind of concept is accepted by the Jainism as a concept of celestial beings, so it shows light and optimistic current that we can try and understand more and more researches have to be made and scientific investigations. Even though the limitation of the sophisticated systems and scientific logic, we are unable to take over this domain. But then also, this comes in the frontiers of science. And science has to develop the system because it has limited instruments today. And so, due to that, even though it is not able to reach to these things, but these logic and arguments show the way that they cannot at least be outrightly rejected, and there are possibilities of higher research in this field. I think I have answered your question, and along with that several things.
Wonderful, and so clear. The body made of black mass in the scriptures of Mahabharata, in the canonical scriptures. Did I get it right? The body black, made of black mass energy? No.
Not gods.
No.
There are bodies means heavenly masses, big masses.
Yeah.
Like Earth.
Yeah.
There are big lands, big areas, which are black masses or black holes, we can say, in a way. They are explained in a different way in the canonical scriptures.
Black mass is explained in the canonical.
Yes. We are highly comparable to black holes.
To black
holes in science.
Black holes. Yeah.
The concept of black holes in science is quite famous. It can be highly compared with the concept of black streaks, black masses in Jainism. There are two similar concepts in Jainism which are comparable to black holes. So all these things show that
black holes are equivalent to which term in Jainism?
Jainism, Krishna Raji. Krishna means black, and Raji. Krishna Raji and Tamaskai. There are two parallel concepts in Jainism.
Tamaskai.
T-E-M-A. Tamaskai.
Tamaskai. And you have studied all this for your doctorate thesis? So you have also studied the black mass, the black energy, the black holes, all scientific research, and you have concluded that this is limited to scientific, terrestrial scientific knowledge. But there is knowledge about it. So you have researched on the field, as I have heard by Acharya Mahapragyaji, beyond mind and beyond the senses. You have searched in this area, which is there, as you said, which is real. So you say it is real, and you prove how it is real and what it is said. Am I right?
It is not beyond mind. It is not something beyond mind. But it comes under it. But it is beyond the visible version that we are able to. These are extraterrestrial, not extrasensory. These are extraterrestrial.
Extraterrestrial intelligence, you have said.
Not extrasensory. But the things that are extrasensory, which cannot be grasped by mind, they are beyond mind. They are different.